Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing a trading account worth $100,000 sitting in front of you. Not because you won the lottery, not because someone gave it to you, but because you earned the right to manage it. Now ask yourself one question. Would you actually know what to do? Most people immediately say yes. But the market tells a different story. Every year, millions of people decide they're going to become traders. They watch YouTube videos late at night. They buy expensive courses. They follow successful traders on social media. They save screenshots of luxury cars and payout certificates. They tell themselves, one day, that'll be me. Yet almost all of them disappear. Not after 10 years. Not after 5 years. Most disappear within the first few months. Why? Because becoming a $100,000 trader has almost nothing to do with finding the perfect strategy. It has everything to do with becoming a completely different person. A person who thinks differently, acts differently, controls emotions differently, handles pressure differently. And the only way to become that person is to survive every level before it. Today, we're going to walk through that entire journey. From $0 to 100,000. You'll experience every stage, every mistake, every breakthrough, every painful lesson, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you are and what it actually takes to reach the next level. Because every professional trader you admire started exactly where you are now, with absolutely nothing. Level 1, the dreamer. Your account balance is zero, no profits, no experience, no funded account, no portfolio, nothing. But your imagination, that's worth millions. Maybe you discovered trading because a friend showed you a payout. Maybe it was Bitcoin making headlines. Maybe you watched someone on YouTube claim they turned a tiny account into financial freedom. Whatever brought you here, something inside you changed. For the first time, you saw a different future. A future where your income wasn't controlled by a boss. A future where nobody decided your salary. A future where one laptop could change everything. And suddenly, trading became more than just charts. It became hope. Every evening after work, you watched another trading video, then another, then another. Forex, stocks, crypto, options, price action, smart money, supply and demand, risk management. Every new video made success feel just a little closer. You started imagining your future. The house, the vacations, helping your parents, leaving your 9-to-5 forever. For the first time in years, life felt exciting again. But there's one problem. You weren't falling in love with trading. You were falling in love with the fantasy. Because dreaming about freedom is much easier than building the discipline required to earn it. The market doesn't care how motivated you are. It doesn't reward excitement. It doesn't reward confidence. It rewards one thing: consistency. And at this point, you don't even know what consistency looks like. You only know one thing. You want to start. So one day, you stop watching videos. You stop taking notes. You stop saying, "I'll begin next month." And finally, you make your first deposit. That's where the real journey begins. Level 2, $100. The first account. It isn't much, maybe $50, maybe $100, maybe $200. To someone else, it looks small. To you, it feels enormous. Because this isn't just money, it's belief. You open your trading platform for the first time. The candles move. The numbers change every second. Everything feels alive. Your heart starts beating faster. You place your very first trade. For a few seconds, nothing happens. Then suddenly, your position turns green. You're making money. Only a few dollars. But it doesn't matter. Your confidence explodes. You think, this is easier than people said. Your brain immediately starts calculating impossible numbers. If I can make $5 in a few minutes, what if I trade bigger? What if I do this every day? What if this is finally my way out? But the market has a habit of teaching lessons when confidence becomes arrogance. Without warning, the candles reverse. Your profit disappears. Now you're losing money. It's only a small loss. You could close the trade, accept it, move on. But something inside your mind refuses. It'll come back. I just need to wait. The market always pulls back. Minutes pass. The loss gets bigger. Your breathing changes. You stop thinking logically. Now you're trading emotions, not charts. You move your stop loss. You increase your position size. You refuse to accept being wrong. Not because your analysis changed, because your ego did. Eventually, the trade closes. You lose money, not enough to destroy your account, but enough to destroy your illusion. For the first time, you realize something important. Trading isn't difficult because of the market. Trading is difficult because of the person sitting in front of the screen. The charts didn't force you to break your rules. Fear did. Hope did. Greed did. And the market simply exposed them. But instead of learning that lesson, most beginners make the same mistake. They blame the strategy. This indicator doesn't work. Maybe Forex is too hard. Maybe crypto is easier. Maybe I need another mentor. So they spend the next few weeks searching for another system, another course, another secret, without realizing that the market wasn't testing their strategy. It was testing their character. And character can't be downloaded from YouTube. It has to be built. Trade after trade. Loss after loss. Decision after decision. That's the point where every trader reaches a crossroads. One road leads to quitting. The other leads to becoming someone completely different. The question is, which road will you choose? Because the next level is where almost everyone gives up. And where the future $100,000 trader is finally born. Level 3, $500. The gambler. At first, you tell yourself the loss wasn't a big deal. It's only part of learning. So you deposit again. This time, you're more confident. Not because you've improved, because you believe you understand the market now. The first trade wins, then another. Suddenly your account starts growing. Your confidence skyrockets. You stop respecting risk. You start believing you're naturally talented. Every chart looks like an opportunity. Every candle feels predictable. You begin trading more often, more size, more risk, more confidence. Then, one bad trade appears. Instead of accepting it, you double your position. If I buy more now, I'll recover faster. The market keeps moving against you. You double again. Now you're no longer trading. You're negotiating with reality. You're hoping, praying, begging. The market doesn't listen. Hours later, most of your account is gone. Not because one trade failed, because one decision became 10 emotional decisions. That's when you finally understand something casinos have known for decades. The biggest addiction isn't gambling. It's believing the next trade will fix the last one. Every revenge trade feels logical while you're taking it. Only afterward does it look completely irrational. And that's why so many traders stay stuck. Not because they don't know how to enter trades, because they don't know how to stop. Eventually, your account reaches zero. Again. This time, it hurts more, not because of the money, because your confidence disappears with it. For a few days, you don't even open your charts. You wonder if maybe trading just isn't for you. And right here, almost everyone quits. But the people who eventually reach $100,000 do something different. Instead of asking, "How do I make more money?" they ask, "What kind of person keeps making the same mistake?" That question changes everything. Because the next level isn't about making bigger profits. It's about making better decisions. Level 4, $1,000. The Strategy Addict. You come back, but this time, you refuse to lose again. So you begin searching for the perfect strategy. First, it's price action. Then smart money concepts. Then ICT, then order blocks. Then liquidity. Then market structure. Then volume profiles. Then AI indicators. Every week, you discover a new expert, Every expert promises the same thing. This strategy changed my life. This strategy has a 90% win rate. This strategy never fails, and every single time, you believe them. For 3 days, you're convinced you finally found the answer. Then the losses return. So you repeat the cycle. Another course, another mentor, another strategy, another fresh start. Months pass. Your hard drive fills with PDFs. Your notebook fills with indicators. Your YouTube history becomes endless. But your account still doesn't grow. One evening, something strange happens. You notice two traders using completely different strategies. One makes money, the other loses. Then you notice another trader making money with the exact strategy that just failed for you. Suddenly, a dangerous belief begins to crack. Maybe the strategy isn't the problem. Maybe the trader is. That realization feels uncomfortable, because if the strategy isn't the issue, then nobody else is responsible anymore. No mentor, no broker, no indicator, no market. Only you. For the first time, you stop searching outside and start looking inward, because every professional trader eventually discovers the same truth. The market rewards disciplined execution, not perfect strategies. And discipline can never be downloaded. It has to be practiced. Every single day. Level 5. $5,000. The risk manager. This is where everything begins to slow down. Not because you've become worse, because you finally become patient. You stop asking, how much can I make today? Instead, you ask, how much can I afford to lose? It's a completely different mindset. You begin risking only 1%, sometimes even less. At first, it feels painfully boring. Tiny profits, tiny losses, no excitement, no adrenaline. Your friends think you're wasting time. Social media keeps showing traders making thousands in one trade. Meanwhile, you're celebrating a 2% month. It almost feels embarrassing until you realize something. Your account isn't blowing up anymore. Week after week, it's still alive. Month after month, it's still growing. Slowly, quietly, consistently. You begin keeping a journal, not just charts. Your thoughts, your emotions, your mistakes. Patterns begin to appear. You notice something shocking. Your biggest losses never came from bad analysis. They came from breaking your own rules. Fear entered too early. Greed stayed too long. Impatience forced unnecessary trades. Ego refused to accept losses. The market was never attacking you. It was simply exposing you. So instead of changing strategies, you change habits. You wait longer, trade less, sleep better, exercise more. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. You stop needing action. For the first time, trading starts feeling calm, almost boring. Ironically, that's exactly when your results improve, because consistency isn't exciting. It's repetitive, professional, predictable, and that's why almost nobody reaches this level. Most people leave before boredom has a chance to pay them. But you stay, trade after trade, week after week, month after month. Without realizing it, you're becoming the kind of trader who no longer chases money. You're becoming someone money can eventually trust. And that's the exact moment when opportunities much bigger than your own account finally begin to appear. Level 6. $10,000. The funded opportunity. One morning, an email lands in your inbox. Congratulations, your challenge has been approved. You read it once, then again, then a third time. Not because you don't understand the words, because your brain doesn't believe them. Months ago, you couldn't even control a $100 account. Now, someone is trusting you with thousands. For the first time, trading feels real. This isn't demo money. This isn't imagination. This is responsibility. Oddly enough, you don't celebrate. You become nervous. Because now, every decision matters. You realize something most beginners never think about. Passing a challenge wasn't the finish line, it was the interview. Now, the real job begins. You stop chasing huge winners. You stop trying to impress anyone. Your only mission becomes simple. Protect the account. Protect the opportunity. Protect the future you've worked so hard to build. Because one emotional decision can erase years of progress, and you're finally mature enough to understand that. Level 7, $25,000. The professional. Months pass. Your trading routine becomes almost boring. Wake up. Review the news. Mark your levels. Wait. Sometimes, you don't place a single trade. Months ago, that would have driven you crazy. Now, it feels normal. You've learned something powerful. No trade is often the best trade. Your friends ask, "Did you trade today?" Sometimes your answer is, "No." And you're proud of it. Because professionals aren't paid for activity. They're paid for patience. You no longer measure success by daily profits. You measure success by following your rules. Some weeks you lose. Some weeks you win. But emotionally, nothing changes. Your confidence no longer comes from winning trades. It comes from trusting your process. And that changes everything. Level 8, $50,000. The wealth builder. Your income becomes predictable. Not every month, but over time. Something interesting happens. You stop thinking like a trader. You start thinking like an investor. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" you ask, "What can I own?" You begin investing. Stocks, ETFs, real estate, businesses, Bitcoin. Not because you're chasing more money, because you're protecting the money you've already earned. You understand something that most people never do. Making money is only half the game. Keeping it is the other half. Your lifestyle doesn't explode overnight. You don't rush to buy a Lamborghini. You don't try to impress strangers because you've watched too many traders make millions, only to lose everything trying to look successful. Real wealth is quiet. It doesn't need attention, it needs protection. Level 9, $75,000. The elite trader. At this point, people start asking for your advice. What's your strategy? Which indicator do you use? Can you teach me? They expect a secret. You disappoint them because the answer isn't exciting. Your edge isn't one indicator. It isn't one pattern. It isn't one setup. Your edge is consistency. You execute the same process again and again and again, even when you're tired, even after losing trades, even after winning trades, because you understand something most people never will. The market rewards discipline long before it rewards intelligence. You no longer need motivation. Systems replace motivation. Habits replace emotions. Routine replaces excitement. That's why elite traders survive. Not because they predict the future, because they prepare for uncertainty. Level 10, $100,000. The 5% trader. $100,000. Years ago, this number felt impossible. Today, it's simply another account. Not because the money became smaller, because you became bigger. The person who dreamed about quick profits no longer exists. The person who revenge traded is gone. The person who blamed brokers disappeared years ago. In his place stands someone completely different. Someone who respects risk. Someone who accepts losses. Someone who understands probabilities. Someone who no longer needs to prove anything. Ironically, the moment you stopped chasing money, money started following you. Not because you found a magic strategy, because you became the type of person who could manage it. That's the real transformation. Not the account. The character. Because a $100,000 trader isn't built by winning. He's built by surviving. Every failure, every mistake, every setback, every lesson, without quitting. Here's the truth. The market has never been searching for the smartest people. It has never cared who had the highest IQ. It has never rewarded the person with the most expensive course. The market rewards one thing: the ability to stay consistent long enough for probability to finally work in your favor. Every trader dreams about reaching $100,000. Very few become the person capable of managing it. Because success in trading isn't something you find. It's someone you become. So let me ask you one final question. If someone gave you a $100,000 trading account today, would you actually be ready? Or would your current habits destroy it? Think carefully, because your answer tells you exactly what level you're on. And remember this: every professional trader was once a complete beginner. Every funded trader once blew an account. Every consistent trader once traded emotionally. The difference wasn't talent. It wasn't luck. It wasn't intelligence. They simply refused to quit. They kept improving. One decision at a time. One habit at a time. One trade at a time. So don't focus on becoming a $100,000 trader. Focus on becoming the person who deserves to manage one. Because when your habits change, your results eventually follow. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe to the 5% Trader. Because here, we don't just learn how to trade, we learn how to think like the 5% who survive.